Hello and good morning everyone. Thank you for joining Jade Global today for the webinar on eliminating Oracle EBS setup migration errors to increase ROI and organizational productivity. Today we are also going to see a live demo of Wevaluated, Jade Global's new self-service setup verification tool. My name is Sangeeta Jash and I am the Assistant Manager Marketing Communications at Jade Global and also your moderator today for this webinar. We have Rajesh Nair. Rajesh is a lead consultant at Jade Global. He has more than 9 years of Oracle application and IT experience. He has been involved in the designing and development of different Oracle application projects, including R12 implementation and B2B integration projects. He has expertise in B2B integration and Oracle core technologies and has also led technical team for Jade products development. So now I'll go ahead and hand it over to Rajesh, who will review the agenda and continue with the presentation. Over to you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rajesh from Jade San Jose. It's warm and cold outside, nice weather. So today we would just review the agenda of today's discussion. So we are going to see about the tool called Wevaluated. So we will see like what is Wevaluated and how does it help, and what are the different features and functions that the solution provides. And then we just quickly go into a live demo of the tool, and then we go to the Q&A. Like if you have any questions, then we will take a moment to answer those. So let me start discussing brief about what is Wevaluated. So Wevaluated is a web-enabled tool which does the setup verification, and it is designed to help Oracle e-business suite customers to perform foolproof verification of tested setups. So this tool basically does a comparison between instances. So for example, if you have a source instance and you would be migrating the setups to a target instance, and the current model you might be following is like doing a manual verification, or maybe you might use some kind of a scripts to take a result output and then verify through Excel sheets and things like that. So this tool is going to replace that manual verification process, and it completely automates the comparison, and it provides you a detailed report about the comparison results. So let's take a look at how does it help in our real world scenario. So basically we have designed this to cover the entire life cycle of a project that you have. So it right away starts from the development phase, and you can have a number of CRP phases in between, so you can use it in all those CRP phases. And just before the production, when you are in UAT stage, you can definitely use that. And then finally, once you migrate to production, we can take the help of this tool to verify that everything that we signed off in UAT has been migrated correctly to production. So the advantage of this one would be like it can reduce a lot of time when you do the smoke testing, because in a typical environment, it takes some time for the functional folks who does the setup to verify the setup and to do the setup and to verify the setup if you are doing it completely manual. So it's error prone because we have a lot of human interaction involved there, at least in the verification part, also human interaction involved. And so it will take quite a bit of time when you go live before giving it to the business users. You need to do a smoke testing. So at that time, it might take quite a bit of time to verify and make sure that the setups are not having any errors and we are not missing any critical setups. So another one is like you might have experienced many a times, along with the code related issues. Obviously, there are a set of production tickets comes up immediately after the go live, especially for the first couple of days, due to missing setups and things not set up correctly and things like that. So we can definitely reduce a lot of tickets by using this tool to make sure that the setup has been done successfully. And also, this also provides a help in audit purposes, because normally what I have seen is like many clients, what they do is like they document a lot of things when we do, especially like an R12 implementation. to make sure that whatever setup we had in the UAT is the one that we are planning to put, that we migrated to production. So they do a lot of documentation alongside of actually doing the setup. So they take screenshots and prepare Word documents for the internal audit purposes and for external audit purposes. So this tool, since it provides a report and you have an execution history also maintained, so you can definitely show that as a proof, saying that, okay, what's the source data, what was the source data, and what was the production data, and what's the comparison output we had done in the past, like when we did the implementation. So it's all out there for verification by any audit personnel. So now we will just take a moment to review the features and functions that we have. So it basically does an automatic comparison of setups between Atoll instances, and so it's developed through a self-service model, so where you can register and then you can upload your information and you can run comparison output all on your own, so it doesn't require any kind of installation at your side or the client side. So it's completely a self-service model where you can register and then log in and then start using the tool. So another critical feature or the important feature that is this is non-invasive execution, because we are talking about the set of information and the data of different client systems. So what we have designed is in such a way that we don't do any kind of database manipulative operations or any kind of DML operations or things like that. So we don't change data, we don't touch data, it's purely select statements for identifying the setups that you have, and then you can review the content, you can review the scripts that is being used. So if you have any concerns about what kind of information is being taken out, so you obviously have full control on the data. So you can review the scripts and you can review the data pulled out by the system, and if you want to not to share any specific set of information, then you can definitely delete it from the final information file or the data collection file, and then only upload back into the system. So it supports multiple modules, so we have come up with a set of modules where we enabled it right now, and it's very user-friendly because the content output would be in an XML format, and it has clearly different tabs designed to compare, and just to avoid any clutter, you can even run it as module-wise. So you can run it for general ledger, or you can run it for purchase, the PO module and things like that. So we will get into the report in a short while. So I'll show you the report output. So it's just a simple Excel, so we don't want to complicate that process. So it's a simple Excel, and it's very clearly called out, like what's the differences and the analysis output. So along with the report, another critical thing is it also provides a correction path, a corrective action path. Because many a times, like when a setup is wrong, then definitely the functional person, if it's a functional setup, then the functional person needs to go to the system and then correct it. So how do we do that? Because if there is no clear indication where the setup is missing, then definitely it takes some time for them to figure out and then go and correct the information. So what we have done is, like, wherever we identify the issue, we also give a navigation path. So you can refer to that navigation path and then go and correct that information. Another information is like the one piece of information that we provide in the output file is those are along with the table column. Sometimes the table column names are more important compared to the actual form labels which it appears on the front end. So wherever possible, we have given the form label itself in the report output. So it does the translation, and rather than showing the raw database column name, it will show you the affected form label in the report. So that way, a non-technical person, especially a functional person, can take a look at that one and then easily correlate. So along with the corrective action path, which I mentioned on the previous point, user can easily go to that form and then look into that field and then go and correct that. So it basically does an intelligent comparison between two setup objects. So it can also identify typos, and it can also identify any other mismatches or any missing setups altogether. So if you have, say, some 5 setups you have done in source instance, and you missed one setup in the production, so it will really highlight saying that, okay, you have this setup missing in production. So that level of comparison is what we are doing here. And it also translates the hidden data behind the Oracle data elements, especially like flex fields and things like that. So this you might be familiar with this kind of situation where obviously you know the IDs that being used by Oracle, mostly the primary keys and things like that. Those will change from instance to instance. So you might have 100 of different setups in a test instance because people might be trying it out, and then finally you goes to production. You cannot really keep track of those IDs, which are just primary keys and doesn't keep any other relevance, right? So what we have done is, like, when you do a systematic comparison, normally those things will stand out. So what we have done is, like, we have done a translation and it identifies the actual data elements behind the scene. So for example, you have a flex feed value which is having a primary ID as 10 and a value, and it is 20 and a value in production. So it doesn't really show it as a difference because you need to look at the value rather than the ID. Though the ID is different, the data being used behind or the data being shown will be the same. So we have built in that kind of intelligence into the system so that it can translate before it does the comparison. So let's go to the live demo. So I have the tool up here, so let me go to the tool screen. So this is the homepage of the tool. So let me log in there. So when you log in into the tool, so you will be presented with 3 main activities. Like, one is the select module, and another one is, like, you can upload the reports, and then you can view the comparisons that you have performed. So in the select module, there are some instructions given, like how to run and how to collect the data and things like that. But the main thing is, like, in the select modules, you can see all the DB modules available. And so when you register for this tool, you can choose, like, what modules you want to use. If you want to try everything, you can try that, or if you're interested in some specific modules, you can select that one. So those modules will be enabled for you. So in the DB module, let me go and show you one of such module, like the general ledger module. So when you click on the general ledger module, you could see that there is a script file available right now. So you can download that script file. So this is like the data collection script which I mentioned. So we could do this in many ways. Like, one is, like, you can really have a VPN kind of connectivity and connect to your database and collect the data, or you can make it a 100% like non-invasive, like, we will give you the data collection scripts and then you could run it on your base and then get back the results. So what we have taken is the second approach, where and definitely there are concerns, like when you share and open up the database. So what we have done is, like, we have given the collection script. So if you have any concerns, you could just review the script file before you run in your system. And if you have any corporate compliance policies, so this will very well adhere to that one, so you can verify the content of the script. And you can run the script by your in-house team and collect the data. So the data will be stored in a CSV file. You could review the content of the data, and if you don't want to upload some information, then you can always remove that. Or what is relevant, you want to keep it. Like, you don't want to keep some information which is very redundant, and you don't want to really do the comparison of that particular setup. And if you know it for sure, if you want, you can remove that and then upload back the data. So let me open up the content of the script file. So it will give you an option for user to download the script file. So there is a detailed README file attached with that one. So that will tell you, like, what are the different setups that is going to take it in the general ledger module, and other details. So, and instructions how to run it, and what any prerequisites required. So there is nothing like a lot of prerequisites required. It's just like make sure that you have when you run it in the system, you need to have some kind of a temporary folder where the system can put the files. That's it. So that's only the prerequisite from the hosting box standpoint, like if you're running on the database host. So that's the only thing that you might need to take care. So anyone from a DBA team or someone who has the apps access would be able to run this for you. And this completely runs in a read-only format, so it doesn't require any write access from a database standpoint. So once you have taken the data, collected the data from your instance, then you can log in back into the system, go to the Upload Report tab. So in this Upload Report tab is the place where you can really submit the CSV files generated from your system. It's a very simple interface. You have a source file, you have a target file, you just upload it, that's it. And it also has an intelligent check, like if you try to upload by mistake the source file itself as the target file, the system doesn't take you because that's not a valid comparison. You need a target instance to be compared with. So let me show you. So I'm going to the source file. I'm uploading the source file. So I have a sample file available here just for the demo purpose. So I'm selecting it is from a general ledger setup, a few setups from general ledger, and that's from a UAT instance. So I'm opening that as the source file. So it got uploaded. And so it will give you some information about the file here. So it's a CSV file, and the content type is Excel. And if you want to delete it and upload back again, it provides you that option. And let me go and upload the target file now. So in the target file, definitely it's from production. So we have a general ledger production. So I'm taking that one and uploading it. So right now you could see that, okay, both your files have been uploaded, and now you can do a comparison of the setups. So when you click on the compare setups, what it does is the system submits a request, and then it processes behind the scene. Because as you know, like sometimes this will have a lot of information, a lot of setup information, and it might take a while. So we don't want users to be waiting on the screen. So once it is done, then it will intimate you through an email. Your registered email, you will get an intimation, and then you can log in back. So it provides a link on the email. You can click on that, or you can at any time come back to the tool and then go to the next recent comparison tabs. So there the history of your uploads will be present. So if you're doing the first time activity, so you will see one entry present there as the comparison output. So let me submit it for comparison. So I'm just submitting, so it will just provide you a message saying that it has been submitted, and you will get a mail soon. So let me show you. Let me go to the mail. So you will get a mail like this. So let me refresh it. This one is. Okay. So this is one sample mail. So we'll get a mail like this saying that what's the reference number of that particular request, and you can really click on this to access that. Or like I mentioned, like you can go to the recent comparisons, and then you can even refresh it there to see the latest run. So if you see here, this is the latest run I have now. So if I click on, so it will give you an option of the source file and the target file, and then it generated the output file also. So I clicked on this output file, which is in which will open up in an Excel. So you can just open it up, and it's a simple report. It talks about like what are the different tabs present, and if you go to the first tab, which talks about the mismatched columns. So this page, the first page, provides an information about both setups are matching. Both setups are present in source and target instance, but there is some issue with those setups. So let's take a close look at the first information. So we get two records here. So one is from the UAT instance and one is from the production instance. And it says that definitely the different value, the value difference or the issue columns will be highlighted in red. So you could see that the currency setup of Swiss franc, there is a typo in that one from UAT to production. So it just identified that. So if you see down here, there could be many errors on the same same record, so many columns might be mismatching. So what we have done is like we are summarizing that in difference in field. So you could get a comma-separated list of columns which are mismatching, so that you need not really hunt for these colors. So you can definitely get that summary output here. And it also provides a navigation path along with it. So you can go to General Ledger, set up currencies and define. So that's the place where you need to go and correct this information. So it provides right away. And the name provided here, like the column heading. So this one is actually the form label itself. So it's not a database column name. So it's a label, it's a form label. So anybody from functional area would be very easily able to correlate like what the difference is and where to correct that information. So similarly, like we have another set of record which is mismatching. So here also there is a typo. So this is just to show that, okay, typo is one thing, and also there is actually a value difference. So the precision has been set as 2 and precision has been set as 1 in production. So there is a mismatch between the actual data element itself. So so these are like 2 different kind of scenarios. One is kind of the typos, and the other one is the data itself is mismatching. And the second set of records is like both happening on the same piece of data. So this is about the missing columns where the setups are present in both instances. And now we go to the missing rows kind of thing, where really the setup itself is totally missing from destination to target. So if you see here, the records appearing here, the first set of records appearing here, records are present in the target instance. Sorry, the records are present in the source instance but not present in the target instance, where the following records are present in the target instance but not in the source instance. So it will really give you that kind of comparison where it is what all records are missing in the source instance and what all records are missing in the destination instance, which is production in this case. So anything you missed out to do it or anything you did extra is also captured. So this is really helpful when you do actual kind of implementation, or you have a major rollout happening for any module implementation or things like that. So this is really helpful. Even like an incremental approach that you take, and you do an incremental project also to your existing installation, still this is going to help you making sure that, okay, nothing unwanted is brought into the production environment. So we have one more tab where unprocessed records. So this is just to make sure that nothing is falling through the crack. So what we are doing is, like, in case we are, in some cases, if we are not able to identify a real difference between 2 records, and due to some data element issue, we were not able to really do the comparison, then we just list down all the records here in unprocessed records. So this is to make sure that when you run the Wevaluated tool, we want to make sure that, like, whatever listed in the missing column and the missing rows, if something is not being considered by the system, we just want to make sure that you are getting that in unprocessed records. So you can verify that nothing is fallen through the crack, and then you can review it manually if required. So that's what we kept this one, just to make sure that nothing is getting ignored. So that's about the format of this report. And like I said, you can even see the details of the comparisons here, and you can search for past transactions. So the details are here. Yeah, so that's it about the live demo. So let me.
Jade Global is an Oracle Platinum partner and is a leading information technology services and solutions provider. We deliver the right combination of business knowledge, product and technical expertise, project management, and flexible delivery models to every engagement to ensure every client's long-term growth and success in business. For more information, please visit www.jadeglobal.com. Jade Global is headquartered at San Jose, California, with offices in Texas, New Jersey, and India. You can call us on the numbers on your screen or email us at marketing@jadeglobal.com if you have any questions or if you want to know about our solutions and services. We'll help you out with any query you have. Thank you very much for attending this webinar and hope to talk to you soon.